Good afternoon, Stanley County. This is Tommy Jordan, your Stanley County Commissioner, coming to you to talk about a state of emergency. You see there in the title below, Stanley County declares state of emergency. As of this moment, it hasn't happened yet. It's not fake news. It just hasn't happened yet. And we've been having discussions at the county level because I've been monitoring social media from a bunch of different venues, and I'm seeing how just with the very first case being confirmed in Stanley County, people are already overreacting and asking, just questions that are obviously fear-driven. And it's my fear that when we do declare a state of emergency in the next couple of days, because we probably will, either this weekend or sometime first of next week, we will probably declare. But when we do, just like the notification that we had a presumed positive case, just the presumption of a positive case, people are freaking out. And people are going to freak out when we say that we're declaring a state of emergency. They shouldn't. There's nothing to freak out about. And that's what this video is for, is to real quickly tell you what a state of emergency does and what it doesn't do. We as a people are already under a national and a state level state of emergency. So we're already being following the guidelines of two different states of emergency now. The next effective step is for the counties themselves to declare a state of emergency. Currently, 84 of the 100 counties in North Carolina have already declared. We have not, but again, we will be shortly. We were at least going to wait until we had the first case of COVID-19 here because we don't want to jump the gun. But we need to be able to be prepared to act. And certain ways that we would act as county government are much easier under state of emergency. It kind of sort of takes the chains off and allows us to flex a little bit more and do a little bit more things quickly and efficiently, and more cost effectively. So number one, I think I just told you, 85% of our entire state has already declared. So we're not leading the charge in paranoia. We're just following the guidelines that a lot of other people have done, not for simply the sake of it, but because of the benefits that declaring a state of emergency brings us and the flexibility that allows us to have. A local declaration is a formality. It's a piece of paper, but it's a formality we have to have that is a legal mechanism that allows the county to formally initiate our emergency services operations plan. It allows us to take our EOP and act on it. Otherwise, it's just a book sitting on Brian Simpson's desk. He's just waiting to play with. But it's like the teacher says, no, don't open your books yet. Can't do it. Okay, we're just going to wait. So declaring allows us to break out that playbook and start using it. All right, we wrote that playbook. It's our playbook. We just don't act on it when things are situation normal. It also allows us to stand up our emergency operations center on a more permanent basis, or it's called an EOC. And an EOC is it's an emergency operations center. It's the center where all emergency operations are conducted. So our emergency services director, Brian Simpson, and our health director and our county manager and maybe even a few of us commissioners, the fire marshal, some police and sheriff, a lot of important people that make the decisions about how to do this thing and have to coordinate together will be able to have access to that room that's manned all the time. And they can man that 24/7. So Brian can have a team ready, Director Simpson can have a team ready. When he has to make a call to do something, it can happen instantly. We don't have to call people in, wait for them to show up at work. The EOC is up and it's running. North Carolina has had theirs up now for 11 days. We'll be just following suit. It doesn't make it possible, but it makes it much easier for Stanley County, much easier for us to requisition emergency supplies, masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, gowns from North Carolina without the county having to pay tax dollars to get it. So currently, the county has a shopping list just like anyone else does. We go to our distributors and we buy things. I need more masks, I need more this, I need more that. And we have a county budget. Well, this allows us not to blow that county budget, and it allows us to use state dollars that are already there and state supplies that are already there for getting this, for just this purpose, to get these supplies in. So, because there's no chance that, there is a chance that if we don't have our EOC, our state of emergency going, when we make these orders and these requisitions, that we'll have that bill sent back to us going, well, if you'd have had your SoE in place, you wouldn't have had to pay for this. But since you didn't, now you got to pay for it. So it's a step that helps us just check off some boxes, get things more efficiently, get things more cost effectively, and it allows us to implement our emergency operations plan. That's not a particular plan that when we fire it up, we simply start executing things. It's a tremendous list of options that a county can go through, or our county specifically can go through, depending on the kind of disaster, or in this case, pandemic that we're dealing with. So it's not having a state of emergency does not institute a curfew. It does not shut down a business. It does not make you do something or not do something. Okay, let me be clear. It doesn't do that. It is a piece of paper that we have to have in order to do other things. That's it. That's all it does. In certain situations, I'll cover this because it does not apply here. But for example, when the tornado came through here, Commissioner Swain enacted a state of emergency. Did we need it? Not really. The emergency blew in and out of here in 7 minutes flat. Too late. But we needed it to help deal with the effects. It allowed us access to state funds. And it acts that way in certain kinds of disaster scenarios, specifically national disasters, hurricanes, tornadoes, that kind of thing. It does not do that in this situation. A state of emergency in a pandemic is not the same as a state of emergency in a disaster. Keep in mind, on the national level, on the state level, and on the county level, and in the municipal level, every single level of government that's dealing with this for you right now has also never done it before in their lives. They're doing the best they can to make the best decisions they can for your safety, for their employees' safety, to keep things going, to keep the wheels on the bus, to keep the money going, and to make all the right decisions to keep us safe and healthy in the best way possible through all of this. So bear with them, bear with us. We're here. There's people like me, commissioners, other people who can't physically do a lot right now. I don't have an active role where I sit in the health department and do things. I wish I did. I'm itching to help and do something more than I feel like I am. But I can be here to answer your questions. I can be here to deal with the public. That is something I can do. It's something I'm trying to do, and I hope I'm doing an okay job of it. So if you've got questions, ask. You can ask on my Stanley County Commissioner Facebook page. It's facebook.com/elect Tommy Jordan. Yes, I'm already elected, but I have to run for election again at some point in time, and that's a good place for me to answer questions. If you have a question you want to email me, tjordan, Jordan, at stanleycountync.gov. And if you don't know how to spell Stanley County, that's because you don't live here and you don't need to be emailing me anyway, okay? This is Commissioner Jordan. It's Friday night. Relax, okay? It's going to happen. It's going to happen soon. Don't worry about it. It's not going to change your life, okay? Stay safe out there. Take care of each other. That's all we can do. Tommy out.